so what do we get for the numbers? This is dimes and pennies.
All right.
So what do you got?
31 dimes, or 4 dimes.
4 dimes and
31 pennies.
31, and the next one is?
23 dimes or 4 dimes. And 23 pennies.
23.
And then 24 pennies and 1 dime.
24 and 1?
No, 16.
16 pennies and
Yeah.
and no dimes.
Yeah. 2 dimes and 25 pennies.
2 dimes and 25.
You got 3 dimes, 25 pennies,
3 dimes and
25 pennies.
so how many are there in the jug? What is the ratio? If I told you that there are 220 coins in here, how many are dimes? What's the correct ratio?
4.
Is it 4 31st, 4 23rds, 1 24th, 0 16ths,
4 23rds.
2 25ths, or 3 25s? Fifth.
How many pennies did you say you had? 200? Or do you know?
No, I have 220
220
coins.
coins, okay.
I
So
don't know.
which one's going to be the smaller amount?
Dimes.
The dimes. How can you figure out what that is?
How many dimes would you have in here if I had to count them all out? Because I can't drain the lake,
Yeah.
take all the dead fish and then count them. I have to just do samples, you know? And so that's all I'm doing, is what's the correct number?
4 23rds.
So you're just gonna pick one?
Yes.
Is there another way instead of just eyeballing it and picking one? And 4 23rds is is 4 23rds the highest number there?
No.
What do you think? And now, I didn't ask you to just pick, I asked you which one's right.
Get one of the, not one of the gray ones on the other ones.
How do we determine out of a sample, if you take, we took 6 samples, which one's right? I'm gonna go with the lady here. Why?
Yeah, why?
Because I'm a gentleman. You know, is that any better than saying I'm gonna go with 420? Is there a mathematical way to do this?
Yeah.
How? Yeah, you could rank them, and then, so this looks like the biggest number. So it's somewhere between those two.
What you have in front of you is a bowl of Swedish fish, and we have 2 groups of 3. Pretty much I'm going to let you read the instructions. It tells you how to do it and what to do. In each step on the 3rd page there is a data sheet, and it tells you what you need to do on it. If you have questions, we'll ask. We're going to come around and ask you questions anyway. We have about 30 minutes to work on this and to fix it and to get it done. So the first step says, shake your pond well. That's all, so go for it. This line is where you need to get your sample as tall as, okay? I measured everything out and made sure that that was. Okay. We have 6 trials that we have to do.
That good? Think that's good?
That's perfect.
Do it then.
Remember, what does it tell you to do? It says, count the number of fish in your cup. So, 1, 2,
Oh, and and some of the fish are bigger and some are smaller.
Yeah.
Who among you is a fisherman?
Three.
Some you pull out, they're keepers,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
and some you throw back. There you go. Okay.
What did I say first back?
Okay, did you count them?
Yeah, I got
Okay.
105 and you gotta cut them in half, right?
You gotta cut the tails off. And so you count, so you put your
Is
number.
that a lot?
That's what I'm talking about.
Cut the tails off?
Cut the tails off, you need to eat the tails.
You want some?
Wildlife department.
You get to eat the tails. You get to
Blowfish
eat the
tails?
tails. Yeah, that one too, because it's part
If
of
you were
our,
looking for the wildlife
situation.
department,
Don't back
tag them. Yeah,
The heads go
and
back in,
on
yes.
the tail,
The tails.
they put a little bit of a mark. So it's a little electronic thing that clips on,
Whoa.
and then they release them. So whenever they're captured again, you know. And sometimes the little electronic tag, you can track them.
I dissected the fish and there's like eggs in there.
So I mean, you can tell, for instance, if you tag them in a lake, you can see how maybe they escape from the lake and then they go upstream.
because.
You can watch
No,
the
I know you
migration.
don't, but then somebody
It's
else-
especially true in Alaska,
These are ratios.
where the
What you do.
native people, the native Alaskans are working with salmon. And I didn't know this.
35 here,
The salmon come in and they swim
and then
400
this tells you to
miles
count
upstream
when
up
you're
the
gonna,
Yukon
you shake
River
them up again.
to
And
spawn.
you're gonna do, and you're gonna get them, and then you're gonna separate
How-
them out.
how do they know that?
Remember that
Because
has
they
the
tag
tails
them.
get taken off.
And then the electronics with
And
the
then
GPS, they
total
can
number,
tell.
and put those on there. And you
It's
get-
there's some really cool stuff.
Did you see that fish? Track of tagging in Bullock?
Now,
Bullet?
what's this now?
Turbot?
Well, that one, yeah, that has that weird fin on the back of it. Yeah, I've seen those on the
Looks like a
signs.
catfish mixed with carp.
Yeah.
Now, we did stuff one, and we did that, we did that.
I wanna catch
Now
one.
we can set the caption.
Oh, I haven't caught one over there yet.
Because you tag them with the GPS, you track them.
Yeah, but isn't it like, do you think they ever stop here right there? You know, when those fish go back, they stop, that's where they stop those fish in, you know, and then when they're not spawning, they go all the way back.
Well, yeah, and so what they want to know is if they stop them, where do they end up? But you can't tell by tagging them how quickly they reproduce, because the reproduction of those fish are not tagged. What you're trying to do is to figure out how many are in the lake without drinking the lake. Because if you drink the lake, they don't know.
Then, this is the number of fish that you capture each time. They're being cut. And then this is the total that you capture. Okay? You have to count all of them, but you also have to count.
He told me himself, man.
Alright, ready? Use again. So we take it.
40. You don't have anything.
2, 5, and 1. Mark 1. That's bad. That's bad. So what do we do after we find out both of them? Do we cross multiply?
There's a lot of fish, man.
And while
That's
you're
why I was
doing
telling
that, you keep on putting all the way back in.
Really? Do we have to tag it?
Cut the tails off again?
No. And you cut it.
Drain the lake and kill the fish.
Okay.
I'm gonna count one,
So-
mark 1.
Okay, so now
Doesn't
put all
seem
these
like
back
that.
in, and then shake it up real good and do it again. Because the one thing about
And then they
statistics,
do this
the more
this activity
sampling you do,
every year.
the better your
How fast the fish grow.
estimate is gonna be. So while he's doing that, why don't you shake that up and you guys,
And sometimes.
and Scott can go over here
Quota.
and dish them out this time and count them. His is empty. So if this one gets empty, then Steve can do.
I think that's what that flashing set means.
Dude, that's what I got. Is that right?
Counting them, bro.
Very possibly. Yeah, that would work. The 35, yeah, that's it.
Alright, number of fish. So 35 again.
35 again. Equals. And then whatever you get there. What are we
And
doing?
we don't cut no more tails, right?
Did you count it?
Yeah, I found all of them for you.
Okay. Okay, so this is gonna be.
Scott, count those, bro.
Okay, Scott.
Four.
Count.
And how much total are there? Now you have, okay, yeah, 44 over x is equal to 4 over 40. And then cross multiply. And then do 44 times 40. And then divide by 4. Okay?
Nice, now.
31 on fish.
44 times 40, okay.
Zero. Oh, wait, wait.
And then you're gonna divide that by 4. 440. That's what your answer is. So, 440 right here. Now do it again.
All of them?
Yep, all of them go back in. Okay. Did you get them counted? So they need to go back in the thing. We're going to do that 3 more times.
Don't have to, got 3 more.
Shake them up again. Do it again.
30.
Oh, come on, oh, that's like that. There. Sort of like the rock, the whole thing around like that. That's it.
More than. Count these gonna be.
I let that post it in.
Share the gift of a friend, breeding with a friend, or the other one? I'm in competition with no one.
Yeah.
I like that.
I'm fascinated with all these that they use.
Well, I get them on Facebook. I've got 2 people that go, one of them is, she's partial Native
39,
American,
39.
she was born in Texas, and she's on one of these sites that have all these things. And then another one is inspirational for the Buddhist non-book. I'm grateful.